Hello, this is Liz with Crafty Devotion. I'm here just to give you an idea of what I've been working on. I have this already in my Etsy shop, and I've been trying my hand at making some rag tattered designs. I began by realizing that I had a customers who loved my little small miniature dresses, which I haven't made one for a while, and they said, "I wish I had one my size." That was one of the most popular comments I received. And so I said, well, I really want to turn them into skirts. And so I have turned them into life-size skirts. To find this item, you can just visit my Etsy shop. It's Crafty Devotion on Etsy, on YouTube, on Facebook. Crafty Devotion Boutique is one of my group where you can actually share your photos of whatever you might be inspired to design yourself. Um, oh, hi, Debbie. Okay. So I just wanted to show a short video of what this skirt came out like. The previous one I made was, well, you can see it right there on the left. It's kind of hanging. Um, it was more of a dyed boho gypsy type shirt, and this one's actually more shabby chic colors, but can be used. Oh, thank you, Sherry. She says the skirt's beautiful. And what I did is it is tattered. It's tattered and torn, but at the same time, in my novice, I've also done novice sewing on it because I am no professional sewer, nor a seamstress. I've self-taught myself how to sew years ago when I had to do a drama team. I used to design costumes for my daughter when she was in drama, and it was mostly because she was really talented in drama, but I didn't like the teenage scene in drama, if you get my drift. And so I was going to do what I could to help her. And that's when I started doing it. And I realized that I was actually talented. I did things like a lion but I didn't realize it actually was one of the first things that set me off to crafting, to realize I actually had a talent and I didn't know I had a talent. But anyways, so these are layers, just like my shabby chic, my little miniature dress designs. They are, I'm trying to keep some of that integrity, although I may make different designs. But if you can see, there are tons of strips, and I've layered the strips in order to achieve the effect that I have on this. And I'm usually right now, I'm actually have something underneath it. Let me show you what's under it. So it's actually I am starting with a vintage or pre-owned skirt, and I may if these take off, I may find something different than that. But since I'm not a professional sewer, I'm starting with something that's already sewn, and then I am decorating the tops of it. You can see, just like I did with my skirts. If you want to know kind of like my techniques, you can go and look at my little miniature dresses, and you'll see that I actually show you in detail how I put them together, and it's a similar technique. And I just start building on a base. And my first choice was, I decided to use this fabric, which took me a long time to decide which fabric to use. And once I choose the main fabric, then I go and I pull colors, and I make decisions on what colors I want to pull. So this is actually a chiffon, and it's torn. You can see I tore it. And then I mix in another base color. So you can see this. I brought that in. And then I actually also put other tatters in there, miscellaneous things. And a lot of times I'm using from my scrap pile. So you can see there's pieces of scraps, and you can see that it's a totally different length. See that? And so those are just the different layers I do. And then I go on top and I layer, just like I teach you there. And here's a beautiful, it feels like a cotton trim, but I don't know if it's cotton or not. It's probably polyester. And I just added that to it because I decided I wanted to make it a little more pink, not so much of this, what's it called, coralish color. And it basically comes together just like a piece of art. And I use a combination of things, And so that it's not all consistently, what is it called? The same. You'll find that there's different things inside of it, just building on it. But the structure of it, let me show you a little bit closer to the structure of the skirt. As you can see, it was actually a skirt, and I've sewn on top of the skirt. You could even see the tag there. I removed the tags because they get in the way of my sewing, and I'm not a very good sewer. So this is what you're getting. You're getting my designs with sewing. And because of the structure of the dress, I'm trying to figure out the best style of skirt underneath to be using. And so this one still came out a little bit. Um, then and then I just keep on layering. And sometimes I remove stuff. So I had a different trim here, and I didn't like it, so I changed the trim. And here, this is an applique that I used on it. And over here, you can see I have this in my shop. And I just made a crafty lot, and the crafty lot has a lot of what you see here in it because somebody loved the colors so much. She said, I want to craft with those colors. So in the crafty lot are two of these, this fabric, which is this fabric, and I just put a little piece, like about fat quarter size or so. And I did put other fabrics in there too that might be help you bring the colors together for you, which you'll have to, you can go look at photos already in my, on my page, my Facebook page, but I need to get it into my Etsy shop soon. If you're interested and you want to pre-order, I can create an invoice for you. But other than that, I don't know. Sometimes I get distracted. And then over here, I basically created, I couldn't decide what to put in the center. I really, really tried a lot of different things, and it came back to my beautiful flowers, but I also don't want to make it too floral. Although I do want it floral because it's floral. It's got floral all around it, but at the same time, I don't want it all to be only lacy floral. I want to be able to have a balance. So what I decided to do is I decided to make use some of my own flowers. And this is an organza flower that I made with my a la list technique. And then I made this top flower with my a la list technique. And I used the same fabric. And that kind of brought the colors together. Oh, thank you. Hi. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, I just see you for a little while, then you disappear. So I couldn't remember who that name was, but hello and thank you. So I'm just showing you details because I not so much that I think that you're going to be making a skirt like mine. Isaiah wants to say hi.
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 Okay. Hi. Now stop bothering me now. Okay.
I am going.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go put another show on. So
here I was talking about the flowers. So I ended up making a layered flower to go with it. And then I said, well, what could I use? Oh, Carmen says hi to you, Isaiah. He's trying really hard not to interrupt me. I closed my door so that he wouldn't interrupt me, but oh well. That's what live is. It's basically bringing you into my craft room. It's messy, but I try to put a backdrop so you don't see my mess. Hi, River City Creative. Hi. So here you can see that I put this together, and I went through my stash trying to decide what center to use. And I did try to sew these things together so that if it gets lightly hand washed, it'll still survive. And most everything is sewn, very little bits of fabric glue. Like I use fabric glue sometimes as a tack, just so it makes it easier for me to sew, because although I use pins, because I have to now, because I'm sewing something, but I also use fabric tack. Like on this here, there'll be little bits of fabric tack in a few places, but it is sewn down. It's all sewn down, and this is also sewn down with my I think I have a first year brother sewing machine. And I'm actually using a thick needle because I'm really bad at understanding what I'm supposed to do, but I'll keep on learning. If these designs sell, in order to order this design, just head on over to my Etsy shop. It's already in my shop. I'll bring out the other one also just so you could see the difference. But I'm talking about the flower again. What I ended up doing is I ended up making it into a pin. So now you can remove this. You can see there. I sewed it on actually to one other pin I had, which was a heart pin, which I have several of those.
Mom,
And then that way it can get removed.
Mom, can I watch Kung Fu Panda?
Mhm. And then, as you can see, it just flows down. Now this one, I made it extremely long. And what I was thinking of if somebody would want to use this like for their bridal dress, you know, a fantasy wedding, and they want to have a fairy tale type wedding, and this is their style, that they can do that. This is extremely long from the waist. I have it, my tape attached there. It goes all the way down. It keeps on going. And if you could see the last bits here, they're mostly the white chiffon. It's almost to like what, 43 inches. So I plan to either leave it this length or shape it for the customer. If the customer wants it a little shorter, then I will trim that and then do the finishing touches on this skirt. Some of my layers I'm using, I have in my shop this, this is a chiffon. If you can see, it's embroidered piece. And you can see it scattered all the way around here. There's one here. You can see one peeking there. This one I here is in my shop, but it is a beautiful large piece, which I considered using along the band at one point, but I chose not to. And then I still brought it in by using strips of the part of the fabric that had these little flowers on it. And so the flowers are just sprinkled around the dress. Let me show you the side. Let me turn it around and see if I can put that on there with one hand. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay, here is the back. And the back, I was thinking of decorating it also, but I decided to leave it a little plain. It's plain, but not plain, because it still has the beautiful, this tassel here I carry in my shop, and I sewed it down along the end. And then you can see some stitching here, and I might need to add another one around there because I want this band part to stay down. So you'll see my rugged sewing techniques. But on the side here, what it has is it actually has a zipper. I don't know if you could see. There's a zipper in there. Oh, thank you, Jan. Oh, hello, River. Thank you, Carmen. And here, what I did is I was trying to improve. I'm also experimenting as I do my first ones. And I wanted to make it adjustable in size. So although it has a zipper, and I do give you the exact dimensions, I think it was either a 12 or a 14, the skirt originally. And I'm sure it will go down a little bit because some of the stretches out of it and things like that. But I give you the exact dimensions in my on my Etsy page. And then I decided I wanted to add this. So here is the zipper, and right now it's cinched. But this can be let loose so you can adjust the sizes. Hi. So there you go. There's the detail of that piece. And I was experimenting, and I think it's beautiful. You can leave it open and just use the zipper part underneath. Or you can use this and tighten it up, or you can even remove it if you want. But I used the velvet blue ribbon that I had on that, which I think I put some of these in the Crafty lots. So in the Crafty lot, I have some of this. I think I put this, and I'm not sure what I know. I put a little bit of this because this is a little bit, I think it's like a little close to $5 a yard in my shop. So if you need more, and actually, I think some of you have not seen this gorgeous Rococo trim that I have in my shop. It's like a cotton, and I have very limited amounts left, but I have it in this light blue a little bit, and I have a little bit of pink left because that's the one that's selling, a bit of lavender, and I think the teal's been selling, which is a little darker blue than that one. I don't think I put this in the Crafty lot because I have so little, and it's in my shop. Usually when I'm creating Crafty lots, most of the items you get are things that are not in my shop because that just saves me time from having to remove things from my shop. Or sometimes they're things that I have already been there for a while and they haven't sold. As you can see, there's probably just one strip of this lace here because I found a strip and I said, oh, I'm tossing it in. So I'll toss in. So it's just a scattered piece. I have just a little bit of this satin, in there, and you can see it's just a torn strip. So this is tattered and torn and put together in that fashion. I'm going to put it to the side so I could just show you again the other one that I made. If you have any questions, I'm almost done, so you guys can ask any questions that you have. Excuse all the white. It's actually a shower curtain, I think. And here's the other one I had designed. And what had happened is that someone really ordered it, and then she tried it on, didn't fit her, and I hadn't really made up my decisions on, what what I was going to do. And it's actually lower priced than the pink one because it was my very first one, has a little bit more things that, I learned. So, but I love, love, love this. I think if it fit me, I might wear it. So maybe if I lose a few more pounds, it'll fit me. But I've been making slightly larger sizes, so I'm going to probably start making some a little smaller. Oh, thank you. Oh, and so here you'll see the same technique, but using more tattered, vintage, or tea-dyed fabric. So this piece right here, this is a cotton trim. I actually carry this in my shop. This right here is an applique I have in my shop. What I did is I removed the silver, they had like silver rhinestones, 1, 2, 3. I removed those and I put something that looks more vintage there because I wasn't planning to make this real sparkly. So I put a vintage looking button and a vintage looking button there, and I used it as it's a collar that I used as the front of the dress. And here you can see this was a skirt already, and it was a drawstring skirt. So this actually adjusts in size also. And then, let's see, this piece here is something I hand dyed myself. And I've had it in my shop. I had plans to have plans for it. I had sold a few yards of it, but I decided I wanted to keep some of it. And I actually have a little dress that I designed using this lace. And then here are some vintage pieces of tattered doilies that I decided to use for the front. You can see it's just totally tattered. Oh, thank you, Grace. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, Diane. But I show you this because first, I know a lot of us are crafters. I know a lot of my fans are crafters because I do a lot of tutorials. But at the same time, there might be one of you who just like, okay, I want that. I could never make it. But also help me out by sharing my things with your friends who might actually purchase it. That would be very helpful because then I'll keep on designing. If I don't design and I don't get a lot of interest, then I'll change my focus in the way I go. Oh, thank you, Amy. Yes, I upcycled a skirt. So here, let me show you the bottom of this one. So this one is the skirt, and it's a bit shorter. This skirt is not as long as the other one was. So it's, I think it's closer to 30 inches from the waist down, which I may do more. To save fabric, I may do them a little shorter. But then maybe I can, I'll do different. I'm planning to do different styles. The next one I plan to do will be really like the white shabby cream type of a wedding is what I was thinking. I'm going to take a wedding dress and do that with that one. I don't know if I'll have time, but we'll see. I'm always thinking about things, and I'm trying to design things that people are interested in purchasing so that I can be creative and also I can inspire you and others in my efforts. Okay, let me show you more stuff here. As you can see, it's very tattered. This piece used to be I think it used to be a tablecloth, and the tablecloth was torn and tattered in a strange color, and I stuck it in dye, and you can see it's remained torn and tattered, and I shabbied it up, and it looks very tattered. So I'm talking about tattered rags. That's what I'm doing, and I did more here. You see there, and this piece right here. This bow is actually a new bow, and it looks very vintage. And this one I made a little more very pretty symmetrical. I was planning to do more from the side and then kind of do one side, but I don't always get that done. So anyways, I think I've shown you a video of this one before, so I'm not going to go too much more detail, but I don't see any questions, but I did want you to see this because I'm going on to my next project, started working on it and realized, okay, I need to put something on YouTube for my fans. And I hope it inspires you to create your own designs either you can take your own an old skirt that you kind of sort of liked and do what you can with it. This is just my technique. I've figured out myself, and I'm trying not to specifically. I've seen other designers of something like this using vintage pieces on Etsy. I'm trying not to just duplicate them because I like to be unique. But at the same time, and it is duplicating it by just using some of the same ideas. So it's not my only, although I came up with the idea myself, I did find other people on Etsy who are actually doing something similar. So this is Liz with Crafty Devotion. I hope you are all inspired to create your own designs, whether it's the color schemes that you choose to pull out, or if you go and purchase my Crafty lot, which I will probably do a video. If they don't sell out when I put them in the shop right away, I might end up doing a video with it. But I do have a Boho lot out there also in my shop. And I will talk to you next time, and thanks for the encouragement and loving my designs.